Okay, everyone, it's that time of the week. We're back. And yes, as you can see, what you want to know, getting swole and getting places. Of course, of course, of course. Yes. So as always, I'm your host, Tommy. This is my co-host, Tanner. Tanner, say hello.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hopefully
We're
the
doing good. I know you guys can't talk to me, but I just want to let you guys know how are you guys doing. Let us know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And we'll get started shortly here.
perfect. Awesome. Yep. As Tanner said, we're gonna get started shortly here because I have a plane to catch, so we're gonna get moving here. That said, as always, you can always follow us on Twitter at @no_whatcha. You can DM us here. You have any questions for us that you want us to answer? You have any answers for us that you want us to discuss? Hey, let us know. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure to come out. So without further ado, Tanner, would you like to start the first segment?
Okay, so our first segment, one of our good buddies sent it in, and they were asking us, look, I've been to the gym lately. What's going on? For some reason, I'm just not having a good time, right? I need to have a good time while I'm getting stronger, right? So we took that into our own hands to come up with some very exciting and experimental, they're experiments for right now, ideas of how to exercise while you're at the gym. Okay, so with that, I will give it to Tommy for his first exercise that he would like to show our good buddy on how you can have fun at the gym.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw mine up on the screen here. Okay, here we go. All right. So this is my first idea. As you can see, a guy is doing some squats. Okay, but there's also a TV on the left side. What could this be? Okay, hear me out. So, have you ever been working out, but you haven't been able to, see the TV, right? That could be a real big issue. Well, now, if what you do is you grab the TV, okay, and then you start doing squats with it, right? Just up and down, holding the TV right in front of you. So that way you can't miss any of the action. Everything's going on right in front of you. And it really works really well. Yeah, some people might say, hey, if you drop it, it could be a health hazard. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That you're working out, okay? If you had more danger to it, hey, that might make your workout even more interesting. You might have more fun stories. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Yeah. So anyway, that's my first idea. Tanner, what is your first idea?
All right, so my first idea, it's kind of like that one actually. You're looking for your entertainment to help you throughout the workout, right? However, instead of a TV, you have to be deadlifting speakers. I'm sure the image is on the screen right now.
It is.
Sometimes now you're like, what about your earbuds, right? They stay in most of the time. Wrong. They do not stay in. Have you ever been middle of a deadlift, all of a sudden your headphones fall out? Happens all the time. What will get you through it? Exactly. Nothing will unless you have your music going. So why just not deadlift the speakers? That's my only solution, and I think it's the only solution that's possible right now to keep you going and keep you entertained.
I think that's a great one. I really do. Okay, so for my second one, here we go. Here we go. Hear me out. So I am proposing doing this drill. Now, I'm not sure what this drill is called, okay, but I know it's a football drill. It's where two guys, what they do, they lay on their backs, they flip over, and then they jump after the ball. Okay, so I'm not sure that I thought it was called the Oklahoma drill. I could be wrong. Okay, but as you can see there on your screen, there is an alarm clock. Okay, well, what do I have up my sleeve with this alarm clock? Okay, so what I'm proposing is that you set off an alarm clock, okay, to go off in 5 minutes. You put that on your bed in your dorm room, wherever you're at, okay, and you lay down. You're on your back. All of a sudden, it goes off. You're woken up. You're kind of running around, okay? But now you got to flip over, jump on the alarm clock, get your hands on it, and turn it off. So now, not only does this exercise your abs, for rolling over and getting up, okay? Also your legs for jumping, okay? It also works on your dexterity, right? Because you got to move your fingers in order to turn off that alarm clock, okay? And it works on your alertness, okay? So you're all ready. You got to be ready to go. You got to be all jittery. Maybe if you have a coffee before this, you might be even better. So I'm thinking this. You, just like I said, you roll over, you jump up, you jump after that alarm clock, you turn that thing off, and then you do it again, and you do 10 reps of 50. Okay, so that way you are getting big, you're having a lot of fun, and you're also getting a little bit annoyed, but then you turn it off, so you're getting that satisfaction. So anyway, that is my thoughts on that one. Tanner, your last one?
Okay, I like that a lot. That's a good idea. However, I think this one is a pretty solid one at least. When you're going, let's say you're working out, you're on the boxing bag, right? You're going at it, and then you lose motivation, right? Well, what's the only way to solve that? Stitch on a word that you are trying to burn or beat or whatever you're trying to do, such as carbs. As you can see on the screen, carbs. Most people want to burn carbs in the gym. So, what's a better way than throwing it right in your face and letting you beat it up? Gives you the motivation, gives you everything that you need to work harder and burn more carbs. Or you could put another word on. Maybe you want to put a word on that you want to exercise. For example, put biceps on there and start working your biceps, right? You know what I'm saying? I think that would work too. So either way, word on a boxing bag, I think it could work. I think more people would be entertained and more people would be doing the exercises and working hard.
Tanner, I think that's a great idea. I really do, all the way through. I think that's fantastic. All right, well, that wraps up our segment. So hopefully our friend, he got his answer question as to what new workout routines, he should be working on. So without further ado, you know how this works. We'd like to jump into our question of the week from last week. All right, and that question, as you can see on the screen right now, is what is a fun, never before seen transportation method that you would like to try? Okay. Well, now we've had a lot of good answers, and we picked our top two. So I know some of you may have written in, maybe you didn't get your answers on the screen. Please write in next week. But so the first one though that we chose, this is from a good friend of the show. They said that they really liked, or they really wanted to have a giant octopus be their transportation method. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, wait a second, what do you mean by a giant octopus? They said, okay, the head is pretty soft, right? So you can put a chair onto the head of the giant octopus, and then you can ride it around. It has 8 legs, okay? So now you can go through drive-throughs, and the octopus can hold your stuff for you, right? So now all of a sudden, you're not holding a hamburger in your hand while you're driving with one. Now the octopus is holding the burger to you, so you can eat it, and you're keeping your hands free, right? Because you got to drive the octopus, okay? You got to let them know where to go. Another point that was brought up was that you could climb over cars because you're on a giant octopus. So traffic is all of a sudden non-existent. I'm kind of confused though as to where this giant octopus is going to stay, because it's going to have to be pretty big if it's going to be climbing over cars. So I'm not sure how that's all going to play out. That said though, maybe you build a giant dog house or octopus house in the backyard. Or I know it was brought up that maybe, because the head's so soft, you could probably sleep with it, and this could be like your snuggle buddy, just as a giant octopus. So, I think that'd be pretty interesting. I guess my question would be, do you name the octopus or not? Personally, I would. I think he's probably a nice guy. So anyway, that is that first answer. I'm pretty happy with it. Very nice overall. And without further ado, our second guest answer is coming from Tanner.
Okay, so our second guest answer, it's a good one. It's a good one. I really enjoyed this one, and especially being in a colder climate, this relates personally to me too. Okay, so this one is ice skates. However, it shoots out ice as you skate. And now you're thinking, wait a minute, it's winter time right now. If you're shooting out ice, that doesn't make too much sense because there's already ice on the ground. No, if it shoots out ice, summertime, wintertime, spring, fall, everybody's having a good time because you're ice skating all year long, because all it does is shoot ice out from the front of the ice skate, right? I know that's one of my personal favorite hobbies is ice skating or playing hockey, right? I think that could change the game of hockey, because summer they could be playing it. It can be more like street hockey, right? People would be, instead of street basketball, more like street hockey. And I think Chicago, New York, all these big cities, that would be a new game. Maybe put it in the Olympics. No more ice rinks. Save a bit of cash. You know what I'm saying there. and then just use the perfectly natural ground, but with these new and improved ice skates. So I like that answer a lot. And with that, I think it's time for Tommy's answer to the question of the week.
Okay. So my answer, I thought long and hard about this. There's multiple ways that could have gone, but ultimately I decided to go this way. So everyone's sort of a dog sled, right? You know, the Iditarod race up in Alaska, you know, where there's a whole bunch of dogs, you know, pulling you on a sled. Okay. My idea is the squirrel sled. Okay. But so instead of a bunch of dogs, so like let's say maybe 12 dogs, you have 400 squirrels. Okay. So you got a lot of squirrel power. I'm not sure how that adds up to horsepower or dog power, but it's a lot of squirrel power. Okay. So that's exactly what you want. And then as for the sled, you're going to put rollers on the bottom, just like rollerblades. So that way, you know, you can go anywhere on the street. You can have a lot of fun. All right, so you're probably thinking, now why did he choose squirrels? Okay, here's why. Dogs, you know, they're very cute animals. They're very nice. Okay, but their fatal flaw is that they can't climb trees. Okay, that's a big issue. I want to be able to climb trees. I want to be able to go anywhere, and that's why I chose squirrels. Squirrels are known for their ability to climb trees. Okay, and they're very efficient at doing it. And that means, so now all of a sudden me, I'm going to be climbing up trees. I'm going to be able to get the bird's eye view. I'm going to be able to go places faster, see things first, you know, before the traffic can see it. You know, and so I'm going to be having a lot of fun. And then also too, squirrels are adorable. Okay. One might say that squirrels are just as cute as dogs. That's a hot take, but hey, pardon my take. You know what I mean? So it's all good. Okay. So anyway, that is my answer. The squirrel sled. Tanner, yours?
Okay. My answer, I was thinking about how a car works, right? Because there has to be a reason on why it is the leading form of transportation, right? There has to be some sort of reason. So how can I use that in a new way of transportation? I was thinking, what do all cars have, right? It's not the same engine. It's not the same color. They all have wheels. Now, here's the thing. Wheels end up getting worn too much, right? Some people even have accidents due to wheels being worn too much. So what do? You make the wheel bigger, which means what is the one thing that could substitute in for the wheel portion of the tire? And that's a windmill, right? So you have a windmill as the wheel, and then you have the tire itself, and you ride on top of it so that when you walk, it does not get worn as much because the amount of revolutions is much, much smaller than in a car. So you could be going faster without wearing your tire, and it's just bigger. You get a bird's eye view of everything. And since it's so big, off-roading is not an issue whatsoever. So you could take a direct route from California to, I don't know, New Mexico, maybe New York, maybe Maine. Maybe you want to go to Maine. And just to make it better, the amount of air inside of the tire is actually so high that you can end up floating on water. And I know some cars do have that, where there's so much air inside of the tire that it actually floats on water, which means this would happen to this because it's so big that you could float on water. You could go across oceans with no problem, kind of like log rolling. You're riding on top, and I just think it would work in all terrain. So that is why I chose a windmill tire as my means of transportation.
Very nice.
And with that, I think it's pretty much the conclusion of our episode. Sadly, I know. However, we will be back next week. And once again, we are sorry. I had a headache last week, so we couldn't film. However, I think this episode makes up for it pretty well. I think it was a solid episode, so that's always good. And so we have our next question of the week, which will hopefully be on screen right now. And that is, not what book, but what book could change one word in the title and make it a funny / exciting, outstanding title that it might change it completely, or it just might make it even better. So for example, you could say Harry Potter. What about Larry Potter? You know, he might be a nice guy too. You know what I'm saying? Like, why Harry? So you could just change it real fast. And I think that would be good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's our question of the week. Once again, DM us on Twitter and no_whatcha. And those will be the next question of the week answers, and I'm sure we'll get some good ones. So with that, sadly, we are ending the episode there. It's a great episode, and I am excited for these answers because I know they will be funny, and I'm excited to read them out loud. And with that, I think we're pretty much over. So have a good week, guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.